Hi everyone, I'm Michael.
And I'm Patrick, and you're watching an episode of Star Wars News and Views podcast. Today we're going to be talking about Rey's parentage, and this will be the last time we get a chance to talk about it before Episode 8 comes out and we find out stuff, or don't, which we're not quite sure yet. So we're going to kind of go into a little bit. I guess at one point Rian Johnson, before in an interview, was asked about whether or not it was going to be addressed in the movie.
This was, if it's the one you're talking about the one from April?
Yeah. When I asked about it, he said, "Oh, it'll be addressed, and we'll figure." And then he kind of caught himself or whatever in the middle of the sentence and said, "I don't want to give too much away, so I'm just not going to say anything." And just ended up like.
Here's the quote. I have the quote right here actually.
It go ahead.
It's something that's going to be addressed in the movie. It depends on, and then he stops and says, "I can't say. I was about to say something. You almost got me." So it's going to be addressed, but it depends on how you look at it, how you consider what your definition of being addressed is. I think that's kind of what he was going for.
Like if they state it out like flat out directly, or they just have some sort of more hints at it or whatever. I think either way, he would say it'll be addressed, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like he's saying that they'll definitely talk about it in the movie, but we might not find out for sure.
And the other thing is, this came out from the Rolling Stone interview last week with Daisy Ridley, where she kind of has a contradictory sort of. Or her and Rian Johnson are kind of giving contradictory answers, where Daisy Ridley was saying, J.J. Abrams told me when we first started The Force Awakens who my parents were, and I thought that that's still the case. And Rian Johnson is saying that when I came onto the film, no one told me it has to be this or that, like I had a blank slate to make up whatever the answer that I wanted.
Yeah, exactly.
So how could it be both? Did he make it up himself, or did J.J. Abrams come up with it?
Yeah, to kind of go off that a bit more, he says, like, the truth is, stories are made up. Whether someone made this whole thing up 10 years ago or put it on a whiteboard or coming up with it organically, it doesn't mean that there's being less thought put into it. So I think to be honest, that he is the one who, is definitively going to decide who her parents are in this movie. And I think J.J. Abrams had an idea, and maybe Rian Johnson, while talking to him, he's either going to stick with it or do his own thing, I guess. But I'm pretty sure he kind of made it up for this movie coming up.
Well, what Rolling Stone is the way they editorialized it from whoever was writing it was saying that the only explanation then would be that J.J. Abrams had some thoughts on it. Didn't tell Rian Johnson independently, because Rian Johnson had free reign, he must have independently come at the same conclusion. But that seems kind of hard to believe, though. I don't know.
Yeah, that does seem a little hard to believe. But I think ultimately it'll be up to Rian Johnson, because he's the one making this movie, right? The next one coming out. So
will it? If he doesn't definitively answer it in the film, if there's just hints, but it's not spelled out and it can go different ways. It's Abrams who's writing Episode 9, so
that's true, I guess. So it could end up being his in the first place, or his in the last place, I guess. Anyways, right? I feel like if that's the case, it's weird though that they haven't really been if he hasn't been talking to J.J. Abrams about it, and they came up with it together, because it's okay, well, I have to make sure that it's going to be in line to what you're going to do in the next movie. So I have to. These are one of the few things that I can't just take full reins on, because I have to know.
Unless they have been. Well, because here's the thing. Rian Johnson was originally supposed to write the treatment for Episode 9. The story treatment. He was supposed to write Episode 8 and then the treatment for Episode 9. It turns out he didn't end up writing the treatment for Episode 9. But Colin Trevorrow and the team of writers that they've had must have been talking to him and going off what he was doing. Because J.J. Abrams is very late to the party for Episode 9. Keep in mind, right?
We might even get misdirection in this movie.
It might be one of those "I am your father" and you don't know, is this true or is it not true?
Yeah, or we'll find out something that they can even go back on after this movie, or it's some sort of misdirection where she thinks it's one thing, and then near the end you find out that wasn't true at all, and now it's in Episode 9 they can write whoever they want now for the parents, because this other thing that we told you was kind of actually a lie in the first place, and it was written that way, right?
Yeah. So, I guess that's the thing, though, since Rian Johnson's trying to do something unexpected, and he's very conscious of the fact that people are speculating and wondering about this. Do you think it's possible to even answer the question without it being all right, fine? I was thinking about this the other day. No matter what possible answer they have, we would have considered it and like, oh, the answer is that it's Luke's daughter. All right, you're going that way? Fine, okay. Oh, it's Han Solo's daughter. Oh, you're going that way? Okay. It's Snoke created her. Oh, Snoke is their father? Oh, okay, fine, I saw that. Or it's like, oh, they're no one. They're not important. Okay, fine, yeah, we thought about that too. Like, what possible thing could they come up with that, number one, is not convoluted, and number two, is somehow still unexpected, and number three, like, fits into the story well?
Yeah, like, for sure, there's only a certain amount of possibilities right now, unless they do, like, some kind of ridiculous, like, Jar Jar Binks is her father.
Yeah, but then it's like, oh, you're trying so hard to be unexpected.
Yeah, so, like, it really... And, like, the thing is, no matter what they choose, people are going to be critical of it, too, because now everybody is thinking, like, oh, I have my own theory about whose Rey's parents are, or I want it to be this way or this way, and, like, you know, I don't know. We'll see. Like, I don't even think, like, to me, that's not really a huge point going into this movie that, like, I'm, like, I want to know, like, I'm a little bit curious about it, but I don't think, like, that's, like, the main, like, you know, focus of this movie or the coolest thing that I want to see come out of it. Is like who her parents are. Like there's other things that look like they'll be more interesting to me than this one little like mystery that they've kind of left open, you know?
And I still, to this day, I still maintain that it's going to be characters that we've never met, never been introduced, and I don't even think they're going to be that important in the scheme of things. But, I mean, maybe they will be, but I don't think it's going to be, it's not going to be Obi-Wan's granddaughter, it's not going to be Snoke did the Force thing again, or Darth Plagueis, or, you know, it's Leia's long-lost daughter. I don't think they're going to do that.
I think it'll be something like, also because that's kind of what like a lot of fans are like expecting, or one of those ones and stuff. And I think one of the ways to just be different is to not do any of those, right? Any of these theories that everybody's been throwing around. And to be honest, I respect that choice the most, I think, because it kind of like, you know, it kind of gives her own thing, like she's her own person that way, as opposed to just being an extension of some other character that we know already.
And also, I think also there's a bit of a corner that they've written themselves in, because when you see the flashback in Force Awakens, they're like abandoning her to Jakku. I always had this idea that maybe she was kidnapped from her birth parents and sold into slavery on Jakku to Unkar Plutt, because like if it's you know, some important heroic character, they're obviously terrible people. Yeah,
they just leave her with this like person who's treating her terribly anyways, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. He's like quiet girl, and he's like already disrespecting her. It just seems this is a crappy thing to do.
Yeah. Like, so like for example, like one scenario I can imagine happening is that the twist is that, oh, she's secretly a princess from some royal family from some far off place in the galaxy, and she was kidnapped years ago and sold. And it's from this kingdom that no one cares about and no one knows about. And in that sense, she's special, but it's also not important.
Yeah, I can see that. Although, to be honest, I don't think... Did they say that it was her parents who dropped her off on Jakku? Like, specifically, was that ship her parents? It's never explicitly stated.
She's saying come back, but that's just because that was her ride there, right? So there you go. I guess this will be the last time we talk about this. I know we've beaten this to death over the years, as has anyone that does these types of videos. So
this is our last guess at it. This is what we were thinking, and I guess we'll know for sure, or one way or another, what's going to happen in episode 8.
If you're right and it ends on misdirection, then we'll be discussing that for the next 2 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think they like this though. I really think that they really dig into these like fans coming up with these theories and talking with each other and everything like that. Like it's because it's driven a lot of buzz about the movie and going to see the next one and everything.
Yeah, it's like self-generating publicity, right?
Yeah, so I think if they don't answer it in this one, we'll get some kind of misdirection or something else to be like talking about until episode 9 comes out. Even if we find out the answer to this question, they'll probably give us some other kind of question that we won't know the answer to. That we'll be talking about in 2
that's
years.
like Empire Strikes Back. Like they had, is Darth Vader his father? And then Return of the Jedi, the second scene, it's like Luke goes, so is he? And Yoda's just like, yep.
Yep. I knew all along. I just didn't tell you.
Pretty much. And it's like, oh, okay. There goes 3 years of speculation.
Yeah.
It's just like, that's right.
Yep.
Okay, anyway, so, so that's our thoughts as of going into Last Jedi. So leave your thoughts below if you've never commented on these videos below. Everyone has their own opinion, and I guess this is circa, like, the night before Last Jedi. I guess this is where we stand right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll do a video after we see the movie, obviously, and we'll have a whole other discussion about what we found out in the movie to talk about.
All right, guys. So thanks for watching.